Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whatever time of day it is for you. This is Monday, or Tuesday, or Time Soup, who even knows? And I am Leela, and this is the pie. She is my muse, and she is already tapping me because she says we have a lot of work to do today. So let's feed her a little bit of treats. I'll say hello to y'all, and then we're going to get to work with Dialekt, I think it says it's pronounced. A really cool groovebox available on iPad or iPhone, separate apps, super cool stuff. Just really, really fascinating, really powerful. We will get to that. Let's just quickly pop my comments on. Yeah, and we've got Live to Fly Channel in the front row, and Thomas Christ and Jimmy Jazz, Jim Shannon in the front row. So that's perfect. I see the rest of you there lurking. Hi, lurkers. I like you a lot as well. And same with those folks who are watching on the replay. Just a little quick business. There's my link tree. It's right up there. You can scan that with your phone and you can connect with me across social medias and send me money to encourage me or to help pay for my new cat tree that I want to put in here. This is more information on that, which is all up in here somewhere. You can throw those pay links down. You can join me on this channel, or you could do none of the above and you can just hang out because this is free. Free, 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 free. Let's go. I am super excited for this. I have been effing around with this for weeks and finally feel ready to pop this out here. So let's get into the Ilya work view and we are off to the races, my friends. Let's go. Boom. I know for those of you who follow me, you know, I've got my shows set up for the week. Isn't that awesome? Can you believe it? First, let's go to App Store, and we're just going to quickly... The pinned link tells you how to get this app on the iPad. If you're on an iPhone, just look it up in your App Store. And I've pinned 2 tutorials that are way better than mine, because this is focusing on randomization. So Jade Star and Sugar Bites' own tutorials are right there in the description. You can check those out later if what I say does not make sense to you. First, all right, let's go into my apps. Ooh, I got Mr. Lo-Fi. Pick up Toyphonic Microlyzer from Calum Audio if you didn't do that on the first. Boom, 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 boom. Where are we? Wow, this thing came out a little while ago, like a month and a half ago. Crazy times. Let's just take a quick look. Dialekt for iPad. Give you a couple of quick overview bits about it. It's designed for quick groove programming, capturing new musical ideas on the fly. 8-track groovebox. It has various synthesis methods, built-in effects, song sequencer, a really cool song randomizer, which is what we're going to be working on today. There's 28 sound engines, flexible sequencing tools, and genre-based groove generation. So there's 8 touch effects. There's this insane song randomizer. You can condition for triggers, for rolls, for polyrhythms. There's audio and MIDI single outs. So you can send this MIDI somewhere else and then use it in your, you know, this is like, just in case you're using it to write songs. Yeah, you ate those right up, didn't you? So it works works by itself and in an audio unit. It's got classical oscillators to physical tones in its Rompler. There's a sound per step feature. This isn't crazy. We're just going to get into it, I think. There's a memory page. All of this, so awesome. This is kind of expensive, but if you really like to work with a groovebox and you want to use these randomization functions to really like get a groove going, let's just listen to this. I just was messing around earlier, and I'll just throw this on. There's no pin, so if you can see, this pin is what means. So if you use this pin, you're playing it by. See, it just plays over and over again. But then if you touch another one, and I just randomized all of this. So this is the same part over again. Now take off this. Now this goes back to where it was. This pretty much shows off every little function. So we'll go through each little bit. So here's your pattern. This is, if we have this eye on, it keeps up with where the thing is. So say we want to mess with 7.2. Now it's not following anymore. Now it's following. Now with our synth, this you can go along each. Let's turn that down just a smidge. The Loopy Pro update Friday. Yeah, awesome. So anyway, right here, you got your synth ones, and you can hit, there's your kick, there's your snare, cymbals, there's a slice editor, there's a multi-synth, there's a bass, there's a synth, and there's a chord. So all of these you can just go through, and then your memory, once again, this is all of your parts, patterns, 4 patterns to a part, as many parts as possible to a song. Now we go to song. Here we go. This shows you how the things are set. Each thing repeats once. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like, you can totally change that. Now, like, see, if we go 1, 3, 3, 3, then we'll go back to memory, and you'll notice 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not in song. The mode's not. It isn't set to song. Oh, here we go. Song mode on, song mode off. Alright, let's put a stop to that. Now here's your mixer. You can solo mute each part. You got your delay and reverb masters. You've got all of your thing. Here's your effects, which are set by step, as you can see, which is crazy. Then in your settings, this tells you, see, look, you've got all these MIDI channel outs. This is how you can send out your MIDI. These are really complicated, so I'm just breezing over this, because you could watch the 2-hour one by Sugar Bytes if you needed to. But see where we've got our master tune, we've got everything going, we've got like chord presets. Here we go. Default, factory wide, number 6, and with sus, and you can import presets for that. Let's see if there's anything else on here I need. Info mode makes it so anything you touch will tell you what's up. So see, this is how we go. Save and load chord tables for the chord synthesizer. Yeah, I know, right? The factory chords are organized as 1 major, 2 minor, 3 major, 4 minor, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 major, 8 minor. The song randomizer will always reset the chord table to the factory settings, right? Whoop! Keyboard layer, if you want to use the pattern keys or if you want to use the full key range for note triggering. Let's see. This is a bunch of stuff we're not going to do. So let's take the info mode off. Let's go back to pattern. Actually, let's get out of here entirely. And we're going to go to the standalone app because there's one thing that the standalone app does that's different, which is it adjusts your tempo when you're randomizing. All right, kiddo. That's 5 taps, by the way. It's hot in here. I have to learn how to cool my studio down. Right on. So, we open up this app by itself. Let's see. Derelict. Okay, this is going to be the beginning of everything. So we're in the song bit, and we can see that we have a preset going. So what we need to do is set it to our init preset. So now it's nothing. Okay? And then we're going to work with our first major randomization. So I'm going to move back to memory, because that'll be fun. So you can do it in song. I'll show you in song. What the heck happened to my mouse? Is it running? Oh, there it is. All right, so here you go. Here's your big randoms. So if you tap this settings, you can see where we are. You've got the things that randomize, and you've got your chord progression stuff. So once you've randomized, you can save your chord progressions and make it so that that doesn't change. So let's look at a note I made here in my photos. You'll see, let's just check. These are the different settings that you get. Now we'll go over in here, and you can see this menu right here, Fusion. So Fusion, Volt, Mellow, Tough, Linea, Hips, Step, Pop, Nitro, Floor. And we go back. And now I'll explain to you kind of what each one of those is. So Fusion goes from 110 to 160 BPM, and it's open-ended. It's funky, expressive beats. When it's above 139, the drums and the other instruments will play halftime. Then there's Volt. Volt is 118 to 130. And that leads toward house and techno influences. Since the randomizer is not great at creating strict repetitions, the results should be seen as starting points. Use the pin button to lock in loops that sound great, then build a chain from there. Cool. So then mellow is 60 to 74 BPM. It heads into ambient and slow territory. It offers slow tempos, long decays, and often little to no percussion. For best results, randomize only the drums afterwards using a different genre. This can lead to surprisingly good combinations. So then there's tough. That's reggae and dub beat style. So 60 to 80 BPM, lots of delay, reverb, strong bass lines, chords placed right on the beat. Linea is 100 to 118. It takes inspiration from Latin grooves, featuring the kind of rhythms you'd expect in that style. It focuses on one hit at a time patterns with only a few exceptions. Hips is hip-hop style beats, 64 to 94 beats per minute, which relies heavily on repetition, a challenge for the randomizer. Use the pin button to isolate loops that work well, then build from those strong moments. Then last one is, step is like dubstep, and that's 120 to 170. It creates intricate beats, often around 140 with a halftime feel. Expect rolls, triplets, and various clock divisions, especially on hi-hats for more complex rhythm patterns. Meow, Hugh, and hello, QB. Nice to see you. Then we have pop. Pop produces straighter, simpler beats at medium tempos, so the 90 to 120. It's a little less busy than fusion or step, offering more grounded and accessible rhythms. And then nitro tries to make drum and bass, and that's in the 166 to 188 beat per minute. So what do you think? What do we make? I think we should make some... Let's make mellow. Let's make some mellow. So we're going to flip over to back to Dialekt. Now remember, this is standalone, right? So we're going to go in. Hey, Easy. What's up? Easy Herbs. Right. So what did I say? We're going to try mellow. So here we've got mellow. And this time we're going to randomize everything, so you can take that off. We're going to randomize everything. So you tap this. Now it says part or song. So let's give ourselves a whole song. There we go. And now we'll go back to memory, and you can see here's some stuff. And we'll just play that for a minute. We'll hit our... Can you can slice, the slice part is audio. This is pretty cool. Okay, so now that we're on memory, you see all this. So instead of continuing to work here, what we're going to do is we're just going to save this generated song, and we're going to move to AUM for fun. So I can show you how you adjust once you've got your thing going. Let's put a stop to this baby. So back to song. And now, see, notice, hear that nice tail at the end? So all you have to do is hit save. And then you can just type in whatever, like, let's go mellow demo. And we'll hit save on that. And then we're just going to leave. We're just going to go. Bye-bye. Then we're going to hop open to AUM. Let's just remove this one so we can start from scratch. You'll hit channel 1. And plugins, audio unit extension. There it is, Dialekt. The other way to do this is to tap this, pull down, and search. There you go. We don't need to worry about that. Hey, kitty. Nope. I already gave you 2 sets. And I'm going to show you exactly how we did this. So we're going to kind of go from one thing to another. There you go. Let's get this large. Let's be large and in charge. First thing we do is let's check out what's up with our first pinned pattern. And we'll hit play. Oops. Duh. I didn't do song. I didn't load my song. Here we go. Now, so to find my preset I just made, I can go down to user, go mellow demo, and boom, there we go. We have the whole thing. So back to pattern. So you can randomize at the pattern level. You can randomize in the synth. You can randomize in the memory. There's huge randomize in the song. It isn't in the mixer. It's a lot of it in the effects. And that's where we go. Boip. All right. So now we pin this and we just play this. Here's a random. This is only changing chord because chord is the one that's... If we go over here to the synth, we can actually solo this. This is our chord. Back to our pattern, see? I like that. Hey, Smithy, what's up? Heathen Granny. So you could even head over to the mixer and think, I think that's kind of quiet, so I'm going to pop that up a little bit. So head back to our pattern. Now we can go down to synth. And first let's hit solo off. You can do that in the mixer too. You can unsolo everything with this /S. You can unmute everything that's muted with a /M. So just for fun, let's do it. Now everything. Perfect. Let's get back to our pattern. Now we're on synth. Let's hit the 3 dot. Ooh, now that's different. Let's go back and listen to that by itself. That's really quiet. See how quiet that is? You could barely hear it. Let's go in and make new sounds. So here we are. So right now, all we have is synth. Synth is all that's happening. Step, pattern, part, song, live. So let's hit settings or hit our randomizer, and we can either randomize our gates. That'll randomize our notes. Do that. You can barely hear them though, so let's change the parameters. There we go. It's a little louder. But then after you've done that, you could actually like almost everything here, but then you could just change to a wavetable. Then just change a few things. Now here, look at this. Look at all the wavetable stuff you've got. Vocalish. But with the randomizer, you can just randomize that. So now you go back and now let's just randomize those gates again. Now unsolo. Yeah, that doesn't sound like good. There we go, see? Now we're back in our pattern. There's all this stuff going on. We've got this bass. Now watch this. So we've got our bass set. Let's go back over to memory, which is where it carries everything, right? But you can come in here and then randomize the whole pattern. But range, all, or selected. So if you've got all, it'll randomize everything. Let's just do it for once. That's nice. But let's say you go to selected. Now look, what we had selected was bass. Now all it's going to change is the bass. You can see it in the tiny little, you can see the tiny little bass notes moving. You're right. Hey, Jerry Gomes. So this is it. When it's pinned, like I said, you just hit the one you want. But here we are. We're back at, so right up here it says pattern 1-1. That's what we're playing with. So part 1. Now you could also go. Oh, what a cool ending. Wow, that was just gorgeous, right? So so if you took part 1, you can actually do this. So the length thing does, if you go length 1, it just repeats the first part over again. So let's hit that. Now we'll move it again. Whoops. Oh, it's still on pin. See, now it's just going the 2 right here. So that now it's got all its parts back. So let's go back now. Now it just skipped it because it's only 3 long. Boom, that's super cool. So that's just playing around. So now here, look at this. So you've got these, so pattern. If you just go selected, remember, selected shows you your little bass note. Now let's go all. You're selected, pattern, and you don't hear it because you're not there. So let's pin it. Justine, the real Justine. Nice. So here you go. So you're in your parts. Now tap this. If anytime you've got these brightly colored multiple things, it means that you can end up changing an awful lot of stuff. So I just hit it and now the whole part is different. So let's play that part again. Nice. So now everything in there is different. That's what we did. When you stop it, it just wow, just puts those tails right in. Wow, that was insane. So here, once again, you can actually go in here, like they said. Now let's go in and let's change some. Let's go to selected, and let's grab our kick. Right. So we're on kick. So if we say selected, now you see. Let's try this. Let's change to fusion, and then let's make sure we don't change our scale, we don't change our chord progression, we don't change our root, we can change our don't change our BPM. So I forget what our BPM was on that other one. Let's get this BPM down. We forgot to change. I forgot to show you that because this is a really complex app. So, of course, I'm not going to do everything perfectly. But let's see if we had this and it was set to like 88. So let's play it. So now nothing happens. Your chord progression's not going to change. You can do anything. So now let's head on back over to pattern, synth, memory. Here's our memory. And we can. So we are at part 1. Now we'll add. All we have is selected, so all we've got is kick drums. So let's Hit it. That might have only worked for pattern. Ha! I think it did. See, now you've got a whole different thing, right? Crazy. So that was a mistake. So what we do, that was a mistake. Now let's hit the undo button. Whoop, there's our pattern back the way it was. All right. See? This isn't scary at all. So now let's get in here and now let's give ourselves, we got fusion, so let's give ourselves some fusion drums, right? There we go. Now we'll come to this next pattern, throw in some fusion drums. That one, throw in some fusion drums. This one, change some fusion drums. Now we go back and select our snare and then go change the snare, make some snares, make some snares, make some snares. All right, now we've got it on pin. So if I play something, if we've got it on here. Now check this out, because I'm going to change down to another pattern and you're going to see that that's not the drum. See? Much mellower. Okay, let's go back. Change, change. We're going back several steps. Woo! We just undid these crazy drums here. Now we undo these kicks. Undid those kicks. There we go. We undid the kicks. All right. Now, so the cool thing you can do is like, we want this exactly. Let's play again. So we got gates and parameters. So when we edit, so when we want to copy and paste, we're going to copy. This is copy, not swap, because I don't want these. I want this to be just right here. Drop it here. Now we have the exact same. Let's put it on start again. Sounds exactly the same, right? Oh, I only did selected. So all now. Now it's exactly the same. Perfect. Stop. All right, now you could go into the second one. So you've got this whole you could duplicate an exact pattern, and then you just come in the next one, and now you add your little drums. So we go back to selected, which means we've got a kick. Now it's adding some kicks. Let's get some kicks in there. Let's get some more kicks in there. Get some kicks in there, and then we get our snares in there. Snare. Snare. There we go, snare. We got a snare. We got some snares. Now we'll have the exact same. No, we'll change the cymbals too. That weep, weep, weep. And now you'll see that you'll have exactly the same right here and here. Now we'll go once again. Hey, Ed Zielinski, what's up? So now it's the same thing, only with some drums. So that's a good way to get your thing flowing. Let's stop. Let's go back to our pattern and see we've got the same thing. We've got a line edit with 3 dots and we've got a full edit. So here all we have is 2.1. This is 2.1. Let's go back to 1.1. There we go. So this is what is. So we've got chord here. So now we could just go chord here. Now we've got 2. We can go that. And remember, we haven't changed our chord progression. Everything's going to be in our same chord progression, which means that you could take this out and go somewhere else. Let's take our chord. Let's go. So in synth, you can solo it. Back to ours. We've just soloed our synth. Well, no, we haven't. Clearly. Hey, I don't know. That seems like a glitch to me. Let's go to the mixer. Oh, well, it isn't. There we go. That's easier. Now back to our pattern. See? So now we go back to our synth, right? Now you notice, look at, here's our notes. Now we can start playing. Let's go to this randomizer. And it'll say randomize gates or parameters. Let's go randomize our gates. Now it sounds different. And I don't like it with that, so let's change our gates again. Yeah, I like that. So in this view, now you can hit, I like what my chords are doing. So now let's move to this synth. First we'll go back to this, so synth, we'll solo this. Let's change our parameters. Nice. Hey, Doug Kidda, what's up? Me and Doug Kidda are going to be on the Pulse later on. He's featured and I'm helping to interview him. Woohoo! Let's change our gates now. Now let's unsolo it. I don't like this. Change our gates. I like the sound. Ooh, yeah. I like that. That sounds good. Now, we're on bass. Notice if you, whatever you've got selected, see now I'm in memory. Notice I'm still in bass. Let's say I want to change the bass. We're here at the pattern. Let's go. Well, it's what we see. Where the patterns thing, we go. All we're changing is our bass. I don't like that. I kind of like this one. So let's go back to our synth and notice we could just tap that and use our little erase pop. Boop, say goodbye. Let's try. Let's change our gates. Okay, let's change this E3. All you have to do is you make sure you're on step. You tap E3. It should go down. Whoops. There we go. There we go, B3. There we go. We don't want 3, we want down. Yeah, I like that. Simple. let's take this, solo it. I don't hear anything, do you? So let's change our parameters. There we go. We don't want, let's change our instrument here. We can go in. Here's our ROM. So ROM is a rompler. So that means you can pick something in here. Let's go a string. Let's find a synth. Let's change our gates again. Multi-synth. Let's go back. Now slice. This is the fun part. Okay, to find a slice, you go to slice edit. Now look, check this out. So this is where you can import your own samples. So of course there's all this stuff they already have. Vocal, so users is where your imported ones come. So let's just import something from all of my, let's grab that Future Illusion. You just cut it into slices. Make the slices really low. There we go.
Point is, the future is an illusion.
So you can set it and play.
The future is an illusion.
There we go. Now when you slice start, there we go.
Point is.
So now all you have to do is here we go. You just tap on there. Now let's go gates. So what's happening here is that it's going up 7 plane. So let's move out of this slice, and now you can see. This can tell you which slice. It's 2 of 3. Now it's the second thing. So now you can easily change the pitch. Play around with all the little things. So now we've got this not in here. So this is just once again, all right, now let's come down to let's unsolo that, see how it sounds. Let's go to our slice editor.
Point is.
See?
Point is, the future is an illusion. Point is.
Slice again. Jade showed you some really cool stuff in there. Let's go back and randomize those gates again. Let's mess with the parameters. That sounds rad. All right, now let's go in our cymbal solo. I don't like that very much. Let's put in some gates. I like that. I don't even hate that sound. Let's change the parameters though. Let's go back. That should undo. Let's put some gates in. Yeah, there's our same old noise. It's that little glide. So all this is just so, but once again, you really need to go and check that thing out. Got our pattern. Gates. Now go to our snare. Solo that baby. Do we have a snare in here? I guess not. Let's throw in some. I like that. The parameters will change the sound of our snare. That's nice. Let's change those gates again. Now let's go to our kick. Once again, now let's go to a different area. So back in here we can go to memory and see selected. It shows the kick right up here. So if I want to change this kick, right? Just touch this. You can use this as shifts it. And it's going to sound awfully different. Let's take this pin off for a second. We'll start the song at the beginning. Man, that sounds amazing. All right, now we'll start from the beginning. Let's go on song. That's the only one that sounds like that, right? Chord rate, one pattern. So we're in E major, and it's E minor, A minor, C sharp, B minor. And then our B part is E minor, G sharp, A minor, B minor. And then we have A, B, 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 B. But you can four steps, see, chord rate, every 4 steps, every 8 steps, every 1 pattern, every 2 patterns, right? Random manual. So now these are stuck, and you can change your arrangement. Look at all these different arrangements. Now if you go back here, look at your memory. Or no, actually, hang on, where are we going? We're back in our song. We turn this off. This is the settings. Now you can see where the parts are, the repeats are. But if you turn off song mode, go back to memory. It's just playing the one part over and over again. So let's go. Nope, there it was playing that part. Now effects. We're almost done here, so now you've got. Let's stop this. Make sure we know what we're fixing. Let's go to memory. It's all or selected. Okay. Now we're going to effects. And let's hit R. So they'll parallel this part. Okay. If you hit it parallel, it'll just put one thing in. If you put serial, it'll put other things in. So now let's just listen to this one part. Back to our memory. Here we are. Let's put it on pins so we can hear that one. The delay. Let's go back to the memory. Oops, song. It's in pattern, so it's only going to play what. Let's unpin it. Back to the memory. Right? Crazy. So you can see the effects. If you link the effects that come in, this is just so deep. But basically what we were trying to do here is just get, if you don't like the hiccups, let's go to our. All right, so we're here. Once again, you would come back to pattern. You can change the whole thing. Just changing the snares. Change our slice. That's our line. That's the slice is what's given the trills and bits. Now once again, now watch. There's a whole new pattern. But it's sticking with the same chord progression. It's sticking with the same basic grills because, once again, over here in song, you grab this check weight. See? I'm not changing the BPM. I'm not changing the scale. I'm not changing the root. I'm not changing the chord progression. Everything else can change. But you can actually go in here and you can not change any of the chord pitches, not change any of the synths, the sound, the gate, the pitch. So if just imagine you wanted to keep, let's keep all the same gates. Let's change everything else. Okay, randomize. Let's make sure we're in mellow. So part. It's got the same gates. Now I've just changed to a whole new song. It's the same BPM, same scale, same root, same chord progression. Now we have a whole new song. We'll go back to the memory, see how different it is? Now let's change our effects. There we go. Let's unpin this puppy. Stop, return, start over. Let's hit the next. Now it goes by part. Because the song. See? Song mode is off. Now it's going to keep following. Now watch. We'll go back to that memory. Now see? It's keeping on. It's not where I kept it anymore. But if we go back and turn off the song mode. Let's go back to our memory. Now it's just playing the first part over again. All right, we changed a bunch of stuff today. I think we are basically done. I think the things I really wanted to show you how to do were import your own samples into Slice and then just show you what the Randomize would do in all the different places that it is. So let's get my little facey face back here to ya. Whoops. Let's get my face in. Boom. Right on. We have done it. We have made it through this crazy little app, doing just the things we wanted to do. So next up we got Jade Star. She's going to do the analog EDR, baby. And then I will see you tomorrow. We're going to go over what I've accomplished this year so far and what I'm going to do for the second half of the year, because my birthday's in the middle of the year, so I always go by 6-month things. And then Wednesday, Fern Frets is back with my batteries have been replenished. Friday is awesome time for Midnight Chill. Let's go. We should be moved straight over to Jade's here. Keep your arms inside the app. Camp Gmail. Mwah. Love me, my friend. Right on. Whew. Let's, I'm going to just play some of that. All right. See you guys at Jade's.